Let's talk about a conflict that has happened between Israeli soccer fans and Palestinian supporters today in Amsterdam. If we take a look here, we can see that CBS News, Reuters, AP, NBC, Washington Post, BBC, New York Times, as you can see, they're all saying that this is all an anti-Semitic attack and the Israeli soccer fans were attacked and that there was no provocation on their side. There was nothing happened before that. It was just strictly that these Palestinian supporters came in and attacked these people just enjoying their football game, their soccer game, as it were. So let's take the microscope that we've been looking through and zoom out on the story. We've seen the micro perspective of what the news media wants you to see. Let's zoom out and see the wider story at large. So, Israeli football fans have clashed with protesters in Amsterdam. Amsterdam City Council member says Maccabi hooligans instigated the violence and attacked Palestinian supporters. This is coming from Al Jazeera. So let's take a look at the video footage and let you decide what's important here. Several people were taken to the hospital after fighting between Israeli soccer fans. Palestinian solidarity protesters in Amsterdam. The violence began when fans of Maccabi Tel Aviv tore down the Palestinian flag. There you go. Violence began there. And saying racist chants on the eve of their match against Ajax. F you, Palestine. They were also reportedly involved in an attack on a taxi driver and held a gathering in the city's central dam square before the game. Yeah, totally peaceful, totally friendly. Hundreds of police have been deployed. There we go. Hate speech by one fan was caught on video. Amsterdam's mayor barred a pro-Palestine rally at the stadium, condemning Israel's ongoing genocide of Palestinians in Gaza. At the game, Maccabi fans failed to observe a silence for Spanish flood victims, which speaks to their mental state. Afterwards, video showed fights involving pro-Palestine demonstrators and Maccabi supporters. Police said they were investigating reports of missing people. Dozens were arrested, but some fans said police were slow to respond.
They came really late. They came too late. They came when were already holded, injured.
People were hurt and injured. Yeah. Israel's government said it was sending planes to evacuate fans. I think there's something to note right there before we move on there. How many countries have to treat their citizens like an angry baby and, treat them like children who misbehave? Wait till your father gets home. He's going to come pick you up from school, because you were a bad kid. This is unheard of. Like, America would never have to do this during some sporting event. We wouldn't have to have our government send planes to evacuate fans. And especially if it's them that started the conflict, not them being attacked. Amsterdam's mayor condemned the violence, and we have a statement from the mayor right here that she described as anti-Semitic attacks. So once again, it's not the full picture. It's all zoomed in.
Amsterdam kijkt terug op een gitzwarte nacht. En ook vandaag is het nog donker. Haatdragende, antisemitische relschoppers en criminelen hebben gisteravond en gisternacht Joodse Israëlische bezoekers te gast in onze stad belaagd en in elkaar geslagen. Mijn hart gaat uit naar de slachtoffers en naar hun familie hier en in Israël.
And there you go. Okay, so diving a little further into the issue here. This reporting is coming, of course, November 8th here. Israeli football fans have clashed with apparent pro-Palestinian protesters before and after a Europa League football match between their team Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax in Amsterdam. The clashes took place outside, and forgive me if I mispronounce, the Johan Cruyff I'm not a soccer fan, all right? Thursday night, the city's main arena in Ajax, Amsterdam's home stadium, as well as in other areas. Ajax won the match 5-0 after leading 3-0 at halftime. So it's possible that it could also be that they were mad that they lost and decided to go take it out on the city and the people. And then, of course, they come across a Palestinian flag. Reporting from Amsterdam, Al Jazeera's Step Vaesen said that the clashes were the result of a buildup of tensions over a few days. Well, there you go. It's a bigger issue. If you microscope it down to one moment, you can make it seem like one side's the good guys, one side's the bad guys, and you can pick which side you want to be based on how far you zoom out or in, right? Hundreds of supporters of Maccabi Tel Aviv came to Amsterdam, held a very vocal rally in the main square before the incident, waving Israeli flags, and also took down a Palestinian flag, she said. Now, another thing that's really important here is that this seems like Israelis have come here to Europe to essentially gloat that they've been doing a Palestinian genocide for the past year, and that they're getting away with it, and that they're happy to continue doing more. And so this comes across as gloating, and you get what you pay for when you do stuff like that. So seeing that their perspective and their horrific genocide and their horrific attitudes are not welcome in the rest of Europe, it's just a taste of your own medicine, and it's about time they get some. So, on Thursday, police said on social media that they were being particularly vigilant in the wake of politically charged incidents, including tearing down a Palestinian flag from a building. Social media videos captured the reported incident, showing Israeli fans shouting slogans while an individual was taking the flag down. Before the game, videos showed crowds of Maccabi supporters chanting anti-Arab slogans. And then, of course, this gets into kind of what we watched in the video. But it says, in one video, Israeli supporters were heard singing, "Let the IDF win," and "F the Arabs." And, of course, I'm, paraphrasing there. Referring to the Israeli army's offensive on Gaza. Another video captured a fan screaming, "F you terrorists, Sinwar die, everybody die." We heard that part as well, in reference to the Hamas leader who was killed last month. The Israeli fans instigated the violence after arriving in the city and attacking Palestinian supporters before the match. Oh, see, so when you zoom out a little more, you get a little more context. And the mainstream media doesn't want you to know this. That's very interesting. So, instigated the violence after arriving in the city, attacking Palestinian supporters before the match. So it's not all just after the match. An Amsterdam City Council member said they began attacking houses of people in Amsterdam with Palestinian flags. So that's actually where the violence started. Councilman Jay-Z Veluzen, and forgive me, these are all names that are foreign to me, have told Al Jazeera on Friday. As a reaction, Amsterdammers mobilized themselves and countered the attacks that started on Wednesday by the Maccabi hooligans. And we have images here showing police officers forming a security cordon around a bus after the match in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, November 8th. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said 10 Israelis were injured. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office did not clarify what led to what it called a very violent incident against Israeli citizens. So you look at how they're framing the incident, and you start to realize that that is the perception that Israel wants you to see of this event. And of course, all these newspapers and outlets in America that are also letting you know, hey, oh yeah, the Israelis are right, this is their story. But only if we zoom in this far. If we zoom out to what happened the days preceding and leading up to the match, and even before the match, oh, all of a sudden the Israelis aren't the good guys anymore. They're not the persecuted ones here. So Netanyahu also ordered the country's spy agency to draw a plan to prevent violence at events abroad. He says here, I've instructed the head of Mossad, David Barnea, and other officials to prepare our course of of action, our alert system, and our organization for a new situation, he said in a video statement during a meeting at the Foreign Ministry to oversee the evacuation of Israelis from Amsterdam. Meanwhile, Palestinian Foreign Ministry condemned what it called an anti-Arab chants and apparent attacks on the Palestinian flag. In a statement posted on X on Friday, it called on the Dutch government to conduct an immediate investigation into the instigators of these disturbances and to protect Palestinians and Arabs residing in the Netherlands. So as we go in further, Amsterdam resident and activist Mo Kotesh told Al Jazeera Israeli fans attacked innocent people on the streets, property, and taxi drivers on Wednesday and took down a Palestinian flag. So this is the days preceding. Like, it's currently Friday. This is what happened Wednesday. So we're getting more context on the situation here. Kotesh of the Palestinian community in the Netherlands said that they went to an area near the Central Dam Square as instructed by the municipality to hold a peaceful demonstration on the day before the match. He said he saw locals trying to counter the violence started against them and their properties by Israeli fans. Israeli hooligans chanted songs swearing at Arabs, saying there are no schools in Gaza because there are no children left. I'll pull that up visually so you all can see that. Said there are no schools in Gaza because there are no children left. Or the article here. Scarring and a horrible thing to say, but also a true fact. Israeli political commentator Ori Goldberg told Al Jazeera the incident showed that the Israeli narrative had taken over Europe, and also America, as we speak. The fact that Israeli fans riot in the middle of Amsterdam, sing racist songs, and climb the walls of homes to tear down Palestinian flags is part of the Israeli condition at the moment. A complete detachment between actions and consequences, he said. On Friday, Al Jazeera's Wesen said the capital was calm. Regarding arrests and injuries, there's more here. I'm going to link the article so that you can read in more to that. The UEFA has issued a condemnation. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar spoke to his Dutch counterpart Caspar Veldkamp and requested the Dutch government's assistance in securing the departure of fans from hotels to the airport in Amsterdam. Saar emphasized the seriousness with which Israel views the widespread violent attacks against its citizens throughout Amsterdam, the Israeli Foreign Ministry said. Goldberg, the Israeli political commentator, said Israel's reaction to the clashes reflected a complete rejection of the notion that actions have consequences, given the Israeli fans' actions in Amsterdam. The Israeli club, Maccabi Tel Aviv, was founded in 1906 in Jaffa, now part of Tel Aviv. It is languishing at the bottom of the Europa League table this season at position 35 of 36. So, good for them. Its next game in the Europa League on November 28th will be against Turkish team Besiktas, based in Istanbul. That's sure to be a wild event. However, following a decision by Turkish authorities, the match will be played in a neutral venue. Yeah, I think they realize that further clashes could happen, and there's really no good that can come of that. In a statement on Friday, the Palestine Football Association, PFA, said it was gravely concerned by the sequence of violent events in Amsterdam, specifically the deplorable incitement to violence, anti-Palestinian racism, and Islamophobia expressed by the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. The PFA called on football's governing bodies, FIFA and UEFA, to address the normalization of genocidal, racist, and Islamophobic rhetoric among Israeli football supporters, and to implement concrete measures to combat this hostility. European body UEFA earlier condemned the acts of violence before and after the match. We trust that the relevant authorities will identify and charge as many of those responsible for such actions as possible, it said in a statement. Well, that's all on this particular issue, but we will keep you posted if there's more. But I think the big issue here is realizing that the Israeli media conglomerate wants you to zoom in on the issue. I would advise you look at the wider context. Don't just look at what happened on October 7th. Look at what led to the events on October 7th. Look at the past 100 years or more. So once again, thank you for watching. Take care. Be safe. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Take care. Be safe. We'll see you on the next one.